There's absolutely no guessing that doing a wide body to your car is the thing to do right now. If not wide body, then over fenders, or maybe cut fenders, or anything that will make your car look wider, meaner, or more aggressive. Wide bodying your car is kind of like growing a beard right now. It's just what people do, and nearly everyone probably looks better with a beard. Still, I'm incapable of growing one, and that is making me
sad.
But here's the problem though. With the introduction of 9,000 different body kits, rep kits, and even borderline straight up cut grill tops for fender flares, there's a couple of cars out there that are getting a little bit they're getting just a bit uglier, all right? After the modification has actually been done. And this is mostly because they made some sort of rookie mistake when they went into wide bodying their car, and then you're left up with holes all over your car and a little bit of a desperate face, and you're trying to justify it with neat hashtags like built, not bought, and really you're just trying to hold back
the tears in your eyes.
Who can say where the road goes?
It's okay, because I've been there before, trust me. I'm Alex at I Find the Picture page with cars and cats, and today we're gonna be talking about rookie mistakes people end up making when they go to wide body their car. While we jump into it, don't forget to subscribe, and at this point, we're not even sure if YouTube cares about that number anymore, but the 15-year-old in me that used to watch Red vs. Blue does, so that would mean a lot. And if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, be sure to hit us up over at fitmentindustries.com, where we pretty much have it all. We can even mount those Johnnies to the wheels and kick them to your door for free. I mean, it's kind of like, that's the value proposition. It's kind of what we do. Anyway, moving into the biggest rookie mistake that people make when wide bodying their car is not understanding the gravity of what they are about to do to their car. Like, it's a little bit fun and hilarious to watch, but most current wide body kits involve you cutting your wheel arches. They involve you blowing holes in your ship for rivets, and you may even need some anti-rust spray to throw up onto the cuts that you end up making. You're gonna need some gasket sealer and a good chunk of other stuff that is a tidbit more difficult to get off versus your typical plastic dipped wheels. Mocking up is something that should be done 3 to 4 times before you even consider jumping into cutting your car. We recommend doing this with the help of multiple people so that they can help you mount it and tape it up and do everything that you would need to make sure that that is perfect. Plus, a couple extra set of eyes are gonna help you look at things and make sure that everything looks good and nothing just looks a little bit off. Because if you do it yourself, trust me, you're gonna make a mistake. The reason that this is a rookie mistake is because I'm pretty sure every single person that's ever done a wide body or over fender for their first time has gotten overly excited, blew a hole in their fender, only to find out that it was like a 1/4 of an inch off, and then they just pray that no one will ever look underneath the flare for years to come. I see you, Charlie. But doing an over fender or wide body installation is pretty rad. After all, you get to make your car wider. It looks like a track car. It looks like it's ready to rip some streets up and be all angry. Remember, it's like the beard of the car world right now. But if the only thing you're thinking about is when you go for wide body or over fendering your cars and you're not actually looking at, you know, your suspension or wheel setup,
It's gonna be tough.
you ever see those trucks with a big old lift, the fender flares on the side, and then they got like the stock wheels that are 6 inches inside? We're looking at you, custom offsets. It's kind of a rough look, you know? If you're jumping into the whole game of over fendering or wide bodying, you're gonna wanna make sure that you get your suspension and wheels dialed in at the same time. When you're going to do a wide body or over fender, it is somewhat of a big deal and it's gonna cost you a good chunk of change, but you should do it all at the same time so that it gets properly done. Otherwise, your car is gonna look like it skipped leg day and your reveal post will be a little bit underwhelming and you're probably not gonna have a fun time in the comments. We get only about 1,000 comments and emails asking about how to measure for wheels when you go to wide body. And the easiest way to do that is if you have to find out what fits your car pre-wide body and then find out how large your over fenders are, like 35mm over fenders, and then subtract that from your offset and voila, you pretty much have a wheel setup that is close to what you'll need for a wider setup. You'll also need to account for the width though, to make sure that you're not just slapping on a good old chunk of negative offset, but still running a 7-inch wide wheel, because that's a little bit bunk, okay? You're gonna wanna make sure that you find your inner wheel clearance and then sending it as wide as you can with your offset outside for that. You should be finding wheels that fit your application, and if you prefer not to do the math, we have calculators for all of this on our site, and you can just email us and we can help you out in case, whatever. Most will end up needing to run multi-piece wheels, as few brands will carry wide enough wheels or lightweight wheels to meet your most wide body, or to meet most of your wide body needs. Really, the only few out there that are a little bit wider would be like your Ohana or possibly even your Forge Star. Here's the great news though, there's nothing quite like getting your parts in the mail. It feels good. You gotta take photos, right? You rip open the boxes and find the flares. You mock them up, you tape them 3 times, you're doing all the right things. But then you notice that like a little piece seems off. Something about your rear fender flare piece is hitting your side skirt, and now you're just wondering if you should just return the whole thing and just pray that you never have to actually think about it ever again. There's a big hope there, bud, and it's not actually uncommon on a lot of these kits regardless of price. You'll almost always need like finishing touches or adjustments on these kits, and the reason for this is that a lot of kits are made through molds and can have excess material in its fiberglass or poly piece. Don't freak out, it's normal. A lot of over fenders and wide body kits require additional work when you get them. You can't just slap them on. Sometimes those indents for the rivet holes are too thin and require them to be beefed up through additional fiberglass material. Sometimes the arch of the fender piece will overhang on the side skirt, which requires you to cut an entire section off, or peel off the other body parts to make the whole thing fit. It can become a little bit of a roller coaster of emotion, and if you're not ready, it's not going to be fun. That's just how it goes. Another thing to remember with wide bodying and over fendering your car is that you're legitimately making your car physically wider. This is a number of things to your car that if you pair it with suspension, wheels, and tires, you're probably gonna experience. A, you'll likely get some heavier Johnnies on that boy, which is actually gonna slow down your car. Now, it's not gonna be that much, but if you don't have a lot of horsepower, you're gonna feel a little bit more. 2, the driving experience can be, well, lowered because it won't feel as tight as it did before, because the wheels are probably gonna be outside of your car more than inside. And 3, since most of these wide body and over fender kits are riveted on, you're gonna hear and feel more, whether that be noise, rattle, rubbing, or flapping. The better you install, the less likely this is gonna happen, but it's not uncommon for those rivets to pop out over time, or those over fenders to crack due to the stress that is put on them during assembly. You're just gonna have more stuff to deal with, and you're gonna have to be okay with that, because you can't just slap them on and pray it never, causes an issue. Remember the dugga-duggas from before. Same rule applies. You can't dugga your way through this installation. Otherwise, your kit won't last one night on a Wisconsin highway, son. The dugga-duggas, they've gotta stop, okay? You cease the duggas. And here's a speed round for you in case you're really interested and wondering what other sorts of mistakes you can make when you go to slap on and go to a wide body. Rubber gaskets work great for increasing the longevity of your kit against your fender, but it's not a look that a lot of people seem to go for. If you can, do something minimal that helps the rivets do its job of keeping your over fender or wide body kit in one place/piece. And you can do that either through a thin gasket or even a sealer. Over fenders and wide body almost always require cutting of the existing flare, since its purpose is inherently to widen the stance of your car. Do not keep your stock fender uncut and just slap an over fender on top of it. If you're doing a wide body, it's just a thing you don't do, mostly because you'll end up eating tire with your old flare, and it also just looks kind of weird. It's kind of not, it's frowned upon in common society. Most people are gonna look if you've done it or not. Just trust me on that one. Kits will often require maintenance checks just like every other mod on your car. Check the bottom of your kit, usually near the back of each wheel, with every few 100 miles to make sure nothing is peeling up or exposing bare metal, which going into bare metal, treat anything you cut. Otherwise, you're gonna have rust issues, and
That's just nasty.
so what's the biggest rookie mistake you made when you decided to take a saw to your flares? Drop a comment below and let us know. And of course, if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, be sure to check out fitmentindustries.com. I'm Alex from Fitment Industries, and we will see you guys later. Peace.